late breaking news, Candace Owens and the Daily Wire split. About an hour ago, Jeremy Boring from the Daily Wire tweeted, Daily Wire and Candace Owens have ended their relationship. Kind of wild. People say that they saw it coming. What's the next tweet, Kel, that we're going to see? Is this Candace Owens' tweet? Kelly, can you put that up? Candace posted a little while ago, and she said, the rumors are true. I'm finally free. If you would like to support my work, you can head to CandaceOwens.com, where you will be directed to my locals page. Or you can give a gift at GoCandace.com. There will be many announcements in the weeks to come. She had a flag on there with the cross. God bless her. What a great picture of Candace just chilling on the street. Look at her face in that photo. She looks like she's telling the truth. And the flag is behind her.
Is there any bad pictures of her? I never
No,
seen
there
one.
isn't. There actually isn't. And Kelly sent me something that people. So this is one. These are people that are responding at the top. Chris, you can show me who you are not allowed to criticize, and I will show you who actually rules over you. Oh, it's time to dump influencers like Rubin and Shappiro. They've always been an Israel first psyop masquerading as conservatism. This is the loss for the Daily Wire with Candace. Carmen Mastroangelo says, classic. Can't wait for the mutual decision statement, but then comes out to find out we did like her taking points that she didn't agree to stop. Of course they did. Kanye, who you think created cancel culture? W for Candace. And Kelly, can I just read some of the ones that I have on here? All right, so guys, this is abuse. Somebody wrote, Rivden Ayamadir. She abused the Daily Wire platform for too long. This is good. The boomer mentality, another tweet. The boomer mentality of dutifully defending Israel, even when they do terrible things, is hurting conservatives and pushing young people away. And another guy goes, that's good. Did she decide you guys were too cringe for her or what? What else did she say? And then anyway, guys, there's mixed emotions. People, by the way, I read the comments. A lot of them are good for her. She's anti-Semitic. Get rid of her. Good riddance to bad rubbish. And as you guys see with people like Vivek and a couple other people, they're mixed emotions. I'm going to go around. Umberto, what do you think about this whole situation? Because you love her. You have a photo of her with you on her desk, your desk.
I do. And I still love the Daily Wire. And to the people of the ADL, I'm 100th Jewish, so just to put it out there. Just to put it out there, and he's a Semite too.
I'm a Semite. I'm a Syrian. The Syrians are Semites.
Syrians are Semites. We saw this coming from a mile,
Yep.
And I don't know what. I think she's gonna do great by herself.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think the Daily Wire, as a private company, they have the right to choose who they promote, who they have in their team. And the market will decide. I'm a big libertarian. Let the market decide.
Yeah.
She didn't want to work there. I believe in freedom of work, freedom of everything. So if she doesn't align with their goals and she goes on the other side, we're gonna see. Time will tell.
And what was the initial thing, Shane? We were talking about I remember. Obviously, it was the the Israel conflict. And let's just be honest, okay? Vivek made a very interesting point. Nobody can criticize anything that Israel does. Zero. I have yet to hear one argument where the other person, an Israeli or a Jewish person, went, yeah, you know what? You're kind of right. Zero. Every single time I've heard somebody even attempt to criticize, it goes to, you're an anti-Semite, you don't give a shit. What about the children? But if you even have a little care about children, if you just stop and go, okay, listen, 35,000 dead, the majority of them are women and children. Can we kind of shift? Oh, what? What about? Oh, don't they use children as shields? Or what? What, you pro Hamas? It's like no.
You know what? We talked about this yesterday in the Saucecast, okay? Yeah. And two progressive girls were on the show, and they brought up the same argument about the children.
Yeah.
I don't know if everyone knows where Israel is. It's not an island. It's surrounded by other Arab countries that put up walls. I think every war, the first thing you do is to put children and women out of harm's way.
Yeah.
And they're not taking in all these children. They have nowhere to go,
Yep.
And I don't know. I'm against killing children.
Everybody is.
I'm against terrorism.
Yep.
I'm for countries defending their own borders. Like any other country that has been thrown a missile, they will react.
Yeah.
So I'm very split on this decision.
What about you?
My problem is that, Candace's original tweet was, no government anywhere has a right to commit a genocide ever. There is no justification for a genocide. And for this, Ben Shappiro said that she's been disgraceful and went into that at that talk he gave that was recorded. I don't know if he knew about it, but when he
was standing on the table with his shoes on like a savage.
That was back in like November.
Yeah. Take your shoes off.
So you're being recorded.
He knows you're not stupid.
I mean, you're one of the most influential people in political conversations in
a room. Oh, he knows. He knows.
You're going to be
filmed
when you're
take your shoes off is what I'm saying.
I think Ben wants to make sure that he is still good with the Jewish community, because they were asking him, why are you platforming this person who's speaking so poorly about Israel? But here's my problem. A lot of the same exact people in the media who were destroying Trump, attacking him for putting kids in cages for defending our border, are the same ones defending Israel, bombing children left and right. So if you have a problem with Trump even defending our borders and just temporarily detaining families, then how can you support a country using modern technology to pinpoint and blow up children with drones? I saw you are a hypocrite on the biggest level. So if you in any way are a liberal, and sorry to say, but a lot of Jewish people are Democrats. I mean, I think 90% or something like that. So you are defending, you're attacking Trump all day long, and you're on the media and you're ranting and raving. But then you also have to play this game where actually Israel can violate, genocide codes in the UN, and Israel can do all these things. So the hypocrisy is too much. I understand that on the conservative side of the Zionist equation, they're not as much against Trump, but they still were against Trump in large part originally. And I just think it's like I think the moral inconsistency has caught up to them.
I think so. What do you think, Alicia?
I think she's honestly going to skyrocket. Like, I think so being independent, she's just going to be able to say and do what she wants now and not have to worry about anybody. Yeah.
Well, I mean, but and if you think about it, it's freedom of speech. It's the First Amendment, and I get it. You're somewhere where again, you're bumping heads with Ben, but it's like I've watched every single speech. By the way, guys, I'm at UFC, and I'm telling you guys, I'm with this woman for the entire time. From when I walked into the backstage, which was an amazing experience. I was there with Pat and Dana, and it was one of the best experiences of my life. Donald Trump is sitting in front of me, and I'm with her. Insane. We are clowning and laughing and enjoying life. Yeah, we're talking about subjects. We're talking about, stuff what's happening in the news, but it was so engaging. But
the video of you guys, it was literally the video of you guys.
Oh, yeah.
It was like if you were best friends.
She's a great. So to come at her with like this anti-Semitic, she hates Jews. I hate that tactic. And especially with the interview that she just did with, who was the guy, Rob? Not Shmuley. There was another rabbi. She just did
yeah. I forgot his name.
She just you find out the name for me. So she did this podcast with him, and he's sitting there, and every single thing that she said. Think about it. She called Rabbi Shmuley's daughter a hag, which. Yeah. By the way, guys, I've been calling people hags. My grandmother, you freaking old hag. Think about how far you're reaching to call somebody anti-Semitic or racist. That he goes, did you not know in 1700 and there was it's like, bro, shut up. You should have seen her face. It's like, bro, you're reaching. She doesn't hate Jewish people.
But they always do that. It was the same thing when she was at one of her, she was at a conference and someone was like talking about the LGBT community and she was like, I'm not against gays and lesbians. She's like, one of my best friends is lesbian. I don't care. It's not about that. Like, but you guys are reaching so much to make it something that it's not.
They have to. And
what was his name?
Vivek had a great point. They label anything they disagree with as anti-Semitic these days. The problem is when you start to put those labels on anything, right? True. When anything becomes anti-Semitic, when anything becomes racist, when anything becomes homophobic, then nothing becomes homophobic. Nothing is racist because you've watered it down so much that now everything is, so it loses that meaning. And so they've done that with anti-Semitism. They've done it with the LGBT rights movement where you water down the
The meaning of the
Yeah.
word.
Exactly. Yes, where it now oh yeah, it's anti-Semitic. Okay, and you just move along. Oh, that's racist. Okay,
Yeah.
but the normal everyday person hears it so much, they're like, I don't really care anymore. I'm burnt out on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it shuts down. But think
happened.
about Robbie. It shuts off. The conversation stops. It stops. And guess what? Once somebody hears that, like if right now I just went like Umberto, racist, and they print that, it's over for you. It's over because that's the worst thing you could call somebody. Because how are you going to defend it?
Yeah.
No, I'm not. Hey, I have proof. No, that label is so
You know how you
destructive and it's so
defend it?
divisive. I
You
hate it.
own it. You
Yeah.
own it, and
Yeah.
you explain away. Because
Yeah.
that's what it is. Never apologize.
No.
And these labels, like, can you give me the name of the guy?
Yeah, so his name is Rabbi Barkley.
Okay,
Barkley.
I
And-
want
and
to
they
make a
went-
point about that guy.
Okay.
I watched the whole thing. She asked him, what is anti-Semitism? It took him 20 minutes.
Yeah, like
20
yeah,
minutes to define it.
He turned into Pooh given the
Yes,
Yeah.
it took him 20 minutes to define it, and then he was like, he pretty much said like, whatever I say is anti-Semitic, that's what is anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
Like we need clear definitions. You know?
And what were you,
So I was going to say, I was just looking at the timestamps. There's a part where they talk about her past Hitler comments, and
Yeah.
apparently this guy wrote that she defended Hitler and praised Hitler.
Yes.
So she played him the clip where she does not do that, and then he still insisted on his point. So like just the I don't know, just like
I
the
saw that.
immorality of sticking to your point when you've been disproven is just so dishonest. Like,
and mind you, and again, and I go back to this multiple times. I have multiple conversations happening on Connect, on the app, with people that, you know, once they hear me say something on the podcast, it's what you don't know your history, you don't know. And by the way, I engage back. What year did England grant Israel the land in Palestine? 1946 or 47.
Yeah.
I go, listen, you got land surrounded by basically your enemy. Okay, I'm Assyrian. We don't have a country. Where Baghdad is, that's where Assyria was. You know why? We were at war, and the Muslims, and guess what? That's that territory. And when I keep asking people, because think, this all comes down to that day. It's October 7th. Let's not forget. Still to this day, it's almost 6 months. They asked John Kirby 6 months ago, John Kirby, Secretary of Intelligence, whatever, that freaking piece of crap. Hey, asshole, what happened on October 7th? You know what he said? Now's not the time. It's been almost 6 months. Now I'm asking the questions of what happened? What actually happened?
when will it be the time?
Yo, guess what they tell me? You're anti-Semitic. And guess what? Guess what the argument turns into, Rob?
Hitler.
Oh, you Hitler. Oh, you don't care about the... I go, time out. To hell with Hamas. I hope they all die. I hope everybody, Hamas, they all die and they go to hell. Okay, let's put that out of the way. God rest all the souls. I feel so bad. I know they have a video of what Hamas did. My heart goes out to all those people. But if you don't know how that day happened, so for 6 hours, up to 12 hours, pandemonium, hell broke loose, and you're the most intelligent place on the security-wise failed, and you guys still don't want to know what happened, what are we even talking about? Because if you found out that the intelligence community turned their backs and let it happen, what would you do? What? And that's because that's a big question. Nobody can answer it.
No, we can answer it, and I'm gonna double super cancel, and I'm gonna bring the Daily Wire and Candace back together because nobody wants to like point out what's the problem. There's something that unites the Daily Wire, Ben Shappiro, Candace, us, everything, and nobody wants to say this. Okay, there's a certain group of people that are against the West. Like, this is a battle. It's Western society that throws rockets into the moon, forwards, rights, civil rights, everything. It's the Western society that is being attacked, okay? And when we single out, Israel as the only ones that are fighting this war, because we're in a war. It's Western world against undeveloped world. I'm sorry to say it.
Yeah.
Can I challenge that? Because I know what you're saying, and of course there is some similarities between Israeli culture and America's, but the problem that America First people have with Israeli foreign policy and what Israel does is they kick the beehive, and America has to foot the bill. So America First people are afraid that Israel is going to start a world war that America is going to have to spend all of its money and all of its arms and all of its young men fighting. So when Israel and when the Jewish community want to create a country that's as big and powerful as America and take care of itself, I'm all for it. They can go do that. But until then, we are going to have to go bail them out time and time again when they kick the beehive.
Yeah.
That's the problem. It's not because the way that they frame it is like, oh, we're nationalists and you're nationalists. We're over here minding our own business. You Americans, you hang out over there and mind your business. But that's not how it is. We're the world's policeman, but we can't decide what they do. So it's like It's basically like we have a cop on our force who can go and start fights, and we all have to bail him out with all of our time and money and get beer bottles hit over our heads. But we can't tell him to stop starting fights.
Or
how is that fair?
Shane, I think I agree with you, but I'm going further than this. Like, we have Western civilized world, and we have non-civilized world, and nobody's brave enough to go like the West is the best. And the Israel thing will be part of the crusade. I'm going to say it. We need a crusade against the undeveloped.
But we are brave enough. It's just we've been told not to be
are
by
coming
the same people
They're
who support
coming in
Israel.
with their third world shit to our country. They're going to Europe. They're going to here. They're making ghettos. They're putting their freaking laws.
Yeah, and who's pushing all those policies? A lot of the times, people who support Israel.
The left. Like,
but people who support Israel that are
them.
Democrats.
I grew up in the Middle East.
He is right. And I feel your passion, and he's right.
Ask the Lebanese guy. There are still beautiful country destroyed.
I know, but there are still
there's beautiful country destroyed.
There's still Jewish people who support open borders. After all this, there's still people who are Jewish who support mass immigration from Islamic countries. Explain that to me. How does that make any sense?
What do you mean?
It doesn't make sense.
Take our border, for instance. Alejandro Mayorkas, that piece of scum, he's Jewish.
Yeah.
Our border's wide open, and he sits
Israel.
there and he smirks and he supports Israel. Of course. And it's like, enough is enough. And guess what, guys? How much money have we given to Israel? And I got into this argument with this guy on Manek. I think it's 4-point-some billion a year.
Yeah.
In the past
It's over 300 billion. Since World War II.
Okay, so guess what? I have the right as an American, when my freaking tax dollars are going to support a country, I can be critical of anybody. And guess what? That whole, you're anti-Semitic. Number one, I'm a Semite. Number two, they go, no, what about the Holocaust? You don't care? I go, guys, I had nothing to do with it. I'm not German. I have no bloodline from over there. I'm an American. And America comes first. Plain and simple. And for somebody like Candace, God bless her, to be like, guys, we keep sending money. We keep doing this. We keep doing all that. Like, enough. When is enough enough?
But Vinny, this is a small time scuffle. Like, the problems that we have, they're worldwide and they're bigger. And we have this bickering and division, but we need to fight for the West. We need to fight for America. America was the first country to tell the English to kick rocks.
Yeah.
Because this country was funded on an idea of freedom and liberty. And that's what we need to, propel against the world. Not democracy, but freedom and our Constitution. That's what it is.
What do you think?
Enough is enough.
Enough is enough. But it's like, and again, because we're going to move to the next story, but it's like, by the way, it's when you can't speak your mind, when you're demonized and just pulverized by one side, it's like we see what's happening, and it's like, well, these people are really in control to where you can't say shit or you get canceled and you get fired. And it's like if you can't speak your mind, then we lost. We lost the war. That's why the First Amendment. Bro, I talked about this yesterday. I'm gonna move on. How amazing were the forefathers of this freaking country that they wrote the Constitution. And you know what they said? They're the ones writing it. You know what they realized? Oh, shit. This power is going to get out of control, so we got to give them freedom of speech. We got to let them have guns. We have to let them the freedom of press. We have to let them organize because we know what we have.
Yeah.
And it's going to get crazy.
And they said, don't get into any foreign entanglements. Washington was very clear on that. Do not get involved in the old world. They have all these problems. They're going to be killing each other till the end of time. Don't get involved. And what did we do? We got involved.
Oh, we get involved. And now, and
The Bible, the Constitution, the two best
Bible, the two best books.
Yeah.